Hello, welcome to the Premier League show. Even though it's the summer. There is no Premier League football.
There's always Premier League.
There's always Premier League stories.
There's always Premier League.
Always Premier League stories.
There's just no games.
There's no games, yeah. I mean, play it back in pre-season training.
Yeah.
So they're heading towards games. In fact, there is. Don't Liverpool play Manchester United next week or something?
Probably.
Singapore or something? Probably. I love that. Probably. But one thing that is happening is obviously the transfer market is in action. Clubs making their moves now.
Hotting up.
Yeah, it is hot enough. It is hot enough. And one transfer that has affected Everton is Richarlison to Spurs. That was completed last week. 50 million rising to 60 million with add-ons. And this is what the lads on the Last Fan Standing show on BetVictor's YouTube channel had to say about it.
You start spending £60 million on people that you're not even guaranteed to be in your front three. Is Harry Kane off?
No, come on, that's ridiculous. This isn't about Harry. Stop digging it. Like
Ronaldo to Bayern Munich, Harry Kane to Man United.
We'll have if that happens, we'll have another conversation at another time. But not
Come
in
on.
million.
Europa League football's the weights, Harry.
Look, we're building around Conte's vision. That's what's happening, and part of that is having quality depth in our squad. And you're right. It's strange that we've spent this much money on Everton's best player. Let's get that said. But one doesn't actually go straight into our first 11.
Flav, what are you having a go with Everton for?
Why? What's the beef for?
What's that for, Flav?
I know. Don't need for that. No need. We used to be.
You've changed since you've moved to the country.
I'm made up. You had that hot chili that time.
Yeah.
And I beat you in a race across the car park.
Yeah. I'll be seeing you in a few weeks, Flav, and I will be giving you a piece of my mind. Richarlison, 60 million. The chat there. And you know what? I kind of understand a couple of the points there of like, on one hand, but on the other hand, also missing it as well. It's like Spurs are finished top four, trying to improve the side, I suppose, and spent 60 million. Let's do what the media do when Everton buy players.
Yeah.
60 million on Richarlison, and yet does he actually get into their side? And did they need him?
Does Liverpool's new signing get in their side? Nunes, does he walk into their side? You know,
They'll be hopeful he does, but he doesn't. I mean, Paul said there he doesn't.
Exactly. So, I mean, why? The top clubs collect players for fun, and no one ever questions them. So I don't understand why people are questioning Spurs when Spurs are trying to become a top team. I don't. There's an ingrained snobbiness that we all have as football fans of like, you can't be above your station and you're like just one of us, and how dare you try and be one of the teams at the top. And yet I don't understand that, because the only way you're going to become a team that is a top side is if you do buy a lot of players. And there's a thing of like, don't get above your station. Well, Spurs are playing in the Champions League, and how are they supposed to juggle the four competitions? You know, the Champions League's playing in Europe is different from, you know, the trophies in this country, obviously, because you are guaranteed a set amount of games, and if you're a good side, you probably will get to that out of the group, which means another. So So what are you talking there? You're talking 8 games.
At least 8 games.
You're talking eight extra games, and you've got to try and push on to being that the following year and the following year. And the only way you do that is by having a good squad. And whether it be Richarlison or anyone else, put it this way, right? If Harry Kane got injured for any particular time, people would say Spurs haven't got anyone to fill a space. That's them, they're over. Or if Son got injured. So if you've got one extra player for those 2 places, which in this case Richarlison can fill sort of both ways of playing and can play out wide, he's a very versatile player. So in that instance, that is a perfect player to go into your squad and add something extra to it. And I just think it's snobbiness when people go, well, why would he go there? Or why did he need them? Or they've already got these 2 players. It's like, so what? Liverpool have got this amount of players. Man City have got this amount of... Do City...
Even United.
Do City really need Haaland? Did you really need Haaland? Well, yeah, because if you want to win the Champions League, which is their next goal, they need Haaland. So for me, I just think there is this snobbiness about when teams try to do better than what people think they should be doing. They're an ambitious club. They're in the Champions League. They've bought well, I think, so far. They're continuing to spend. And, yeah, fair play. Fair play to them. It's unfortunate that it was our player they came for. But that's football, isn't it?
Well, they want good players, don't they? Richarlison's a good player. So when you look at the trying to put players together there now, they've obviously got Kulusevski, they've got Richarlison, Son, Kane. They've still got Lucas Moura at this moment. Bergwijn gone to Holland, doesn't he? So it's, you know, they've moved one out and Richarlison's come in. So for them, they're looking for a attacking talent. Seems like Manchester United have got. You know, when they got Sancho and he's on the bench for 100 million or whatever it was.
Spurs will play
90 million.
Spurs will play no less than 50 games this season. And they need to make sure that every game they go into, they've got someone who can score the goals and someone who can provide the goals. So when you think about it like that, you know, they'll be going into games against Liverpool, Manchester City, who they didn't lose to Adam last season, Arsenal, Chelsea, and their idea is we want to win that game. Whereas other clubs, including our own, almost write off those games. So it becomes a case of you need your best players for, say, 30 games a season. For us, Spurs playing an extra 20. I know we're all playing those. I know we're all playing the extra 8. That's not my point. They want to go into every game thinking we don't want to lose this game. We don't want to lose to Arsenal. We don't want to lose to Chelsea because that's their teams on the either side of us as the league was last season. We want to take points off Liverpool and we want to take points off Manchester City, and that's before everybody else. And that's before you get into the Champions League and the FA Cup and the League Cup. That's where like you've got to have good, talented players. You've got to have somebody who can go out on a Tuesday night, maybe you're away to Crystal Palace, where it might be a little bit tricky, and go, we're going to get points there. Why? Because, all right, Harry Kane played on Saturday, and he might be a little bit not on it, or Son might be on it, so we're just going to get Richarlison. Richarlison will play 35 games for them, no problem this season. Or, and you know, that's what'll happen. So this idea that you shouldn't be trying to, you know, if you want good players, you're going to have to spend money on them, aren't you, as well? If you want to pay 30 million, you're just going to get an average player. They don't want average players. They want good players.
And the back and the manager as well, of course, aren't they? And the manager wants better players, and that's the way it is. So, yeah, listen, he'll be a good player for Spurs. He's durable, plays a lot of games, works hard, and like you said, can play a couple. Also, he can play 3 positions.
But also, the other side of this as well, you can have 5 subs. The man, as an opposition player for any team, you do not want to look at that bench and go, with 20 minutes to go, and go, oh God. Psychologically, that must be a big thing. And, you know, oh God, we're hanging on here, it's 0-0 or whatever. You look at the bench and go, oh God, they can bring him on. And you look at your bench and go, there's a bunch of kids and a couple of our fellas, and that's it. And that's it. And that's what top teams are, or people who want to be in top teams, will try and do. We'll try and do. That's what they work. Yeah, exactly. They'll think, right, we can have a good go in the Champions League, but it's not one season. One season in the Champions League is not enough. You need to be in there every single year. So I don't get criticism of teams trying to build better squads. I don't understand. Isn't that what we're all trying to do?
People have hierarchies, don't they? Yeah. And whether that's fans or whether that's, and a lot of fans have been fed that and have bought it from the media. We've been it down, the big six. That's all you're there, even though when you actually look at it, that 6 that they talk about haven't been the top 6.
Don't get me wrong.
And we have to have one correction. We spoke last week about Spurs and Arsenal, the power shift. Spurs have finished above Arsenal for 6 seasons on the run, which I didn't realise. I thought it was like 3 or 4, but 6. So, well, what I mean is there's that. When you're fed that, you naturally start to believe it. But Newcastle are going to do the same, aren't they?
Yeah, of course they are. They've got money and they've got a fella in charge there who's got brains. But the point being is that you do get fed the hierarchy, and of course, and then there's a hierarchy within the hierarchy. But for fans, someone like Spurs, and I think I've seen this with Richarlison going there, is there's this thing of like, well, I'd rather he'd gone abroad, and of course, but it's like, oh, I wish he'd gone to City. I could take that, but he's going to Spurs, and it's like, yeah, but if you'd said that when Jolie Les got left Everton and went to Man City, people at the time were going, why? Why is he going there? I was like, well, he won a title. You know, he won a FA Cup. You know, and you've got, and I'm not for this minute saying Spurs will do what City have done, but you've got to try, haven't you? I think some fans have forgotten what ambition is, or what ambition looks like. And I think that's half the problem.
No, but it's another thing as well, as the admittance that they're moving away from you. You don't want to do that. You want to try to keep what you want to, as a fan, what you want to believe is that there's only a couple of teams out of your reach, and you can stay in and you can get to them eventually. But no one gets into the top couple of teams without ambition.
How about instead of criticising another club for having ambition, criticise your own club for not having ambition?
There you go. There's within that, there has been other moves. Manchester City, you mentioned, we spoke about Haaland coming in last week. They have completed Calvin Phillips' move this week. Good signing for them. 45 million as well.
Great buy. 6-year contract. You know, will offer them a new dimension coming in, taking, you know, midfield spot from Fernandinho, and he's got the passing. He can set the pace of a game. He can get a quick ball over the top, that, you know, bing, 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 rather than the quick play, the passing and weighing you down. Suddenly they've got the ability to get it back to him, get the quick switch in, and get it into Haaland, or get it over the top for Haaland in front of him where he likes. It just opens the game up. It gives everybody else now again. You're talking about the ways of playing. We've seen that last season with Grealish. If like didn't quite happen for Grealish, but I suspect this season, now he's bedded in, you'll start getting him having the ability to understand what he wants to do, but then he'll take the ball on and use it because he'll be a little bit more comfortable. And suddenly that open. Listen, if they're prepared to let, they've obviously let Jesus go to Arsenal, but if they're prepared now to let Sterling go to Chelsea as well, then they must feel very confident in the way they're going to do things this season, and that alone is a scary thing. Letting someone who's been consistently one of your best players in the last 6-7 years or whatever he's been there, to move to a team that finished third, that's ballsy. That
they are supremely confident. They've lost the two players who they had off either wing. At times, Jesus and Sterling, they're letting go out to
third and fifth.
So you either look at that and go, City are really clever and realise that these two actually are on the way down, or they're supremely confident in what they've got and think, well, they'll take points off each other, having them, and we'll be all right. Because it is a mad one, because Sterling's still producing, and Gabriel Jesus always scores goals, so it's interesting what they're going to do. Cucurella still remains apparently on their radar, so they might bring him in as well. Arsenal, you know, just mentioned there, Gabriel Jesus going in, £45 million, good signing.
Yeah, but what I would say is I'm not confident in what his true role is, because like he's not a true number 9. Ironically, they give him the number 9 shirt, and they want to play him there. But he's always sort of been someone who wants to play off the left-hand side or either side, really. And I don't know. It is a lot of eggs in one basket. They lost Lacazette
and
Aubameyang, and they're replacing them with. I know they've got young strikers coming through, and I appreciate that.
McCarthy's signed a new deal.
It will be interesting. He is a very talented player, and.
But if he plays games every week and he gets used to their way of playing, he might be.
Of course, Arteta obviously was his coach.
Exactly, he knows
him.
He
knows him, but it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be interesting to see how well he does. Whether he's sort of that last. He's not the last piece for them, but he might be the last piece for this version of them before they have to take it the next step up.
Yeah. But it's a good
player. Very good player.
Good signing. Manchester United have brought in Cyril Malacia from Feyenoord. That's Erik ten Hag's first signing.
Yeah.
They've got another couple lined up as well. The young
Eriksen
still hasn't done. Christian Eriksen apparently has agreed that deal, so they might have another two in the next couple of days. But one player that talk of maybe going is Ronaldo, and apparently he wants out. So I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, he wants to go. He wants to play in the Champions League, doesn't he? And there has been talk of Chelsea. I don't know who dare to afford for them and get anything out of them. Oh, he went to Juventus. Big money. It was supposed to get them the Champions League. It didn't. I think they went out in the quarterfinals 2 years in a row. And the last time I think it was to Porto. He went to Manchester United, scored a lot of goals, scored goals in the Champions League, but they got no further than, what was it, the second round? Yeah, so he's not going to win the Champions League on his own. He's going to score goals. But who can afford them? Who's willing to take the risk of a 37-year-old? Listen, you get all the other stuff, of course you do, all the commercial stuff out of it. Fantastic to have someone like him. But who can afford them? I just don't know who can afford them, unless he basically said, right, I'm going to go back to Portugal. I'm going to be on reasonable wages because I want to come back and play here. And I want to play in the Champions League. But does he just want to play in the Champions League? Or does he want to play for a team that he thinks can win the Champions League? There's one team that maybe could afford them. And it would be somewhat... And I've not heard them mention this time. And it would be absolutely amazing. And that would be Paris Saint-Germain. They would be the only one, but I don't think they're going to do it because obviously it's been a change of setup. Mbappe's in, Pochettino's out, Gaultier's in. Obviously, there's talk they want to get rid of Neymar, and Neymar could be going to Chelsea. If you believe some of the rumours going round, they do want Neymar out apparently. So that would be quite. But I've not heard that. That's me just being. That would be the last hurrah.
Well, he's the last. They're like the last big kind of super club that would take him. Yeah. I think Real Madrid ain't gonna touch him.
But it would be brilliant though, wouldn't it?
It'd be mad to go for the season.
Messi, Ronaldo, and
Mbappe. I mean, obviously for box office.
Yeah, hottest ticket in town. That wouldn't it?
It would be incredible for the season. I seen him talking the other day saying he'll finish at Sporting. Whether they want him, I don't know. But, they might be like, what? Yeah. Will you? Yeah. He may well end up there next season, but like the season after. But no, that's obviously very.
How old do you think he'll play till?
Well, Zlatan's 40 and he's given him a new contract, so.
But he's fell off, so.
No, but he
he could.
Painkillers. His body is obviously unbelievable still, Ronaldo.
And his
ability still there.
The way he's changed this game.
Exactly, and his desire still there, so he could probably play for another 3 seasons and be good for another 3 seasons. Depends what the desire is from him.
I just don't know who could afford them.
He may well go, I mean, you're talking Paris there. He may well just have to end up staying at United, and that's the way it is.
No, but do you really think that's going to happen now?
I don't know, because I know Chelsea have apparently dipped their toe in the water with him, and they're looking at other stuff at the moment, because they do need, they're obviously Romelu Lukaku's gone to Inter. They're talking about letting Brozier go, but I mean, he's not really used them anyway, so it's not like that's a big loss for them. So he's left with Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. Apparently Werner was offered round, so what are they going to do? If they bring Sterling in, I understand that.
Yeah.
But they still could do with something through the middle.
I just can't see the Chelsea deal happening. But then I can't see where else he'd go. And it would have to be someone like Paris Saint-Germain.
It would have to be Paris, otherwise everyone cuts the cloth accordingly. United let him go and he goes back to Sporting.
Give the football world what they want though, Paris. Come on. Messi and Ronaldo together
with Neymar,
Mbappe. With Mbappe, get rid of Neymar.
It's easier said than done.
And then suddenly you've got a front three there.
Yeah, but Ronaldo,
Di Maria's gone
for a year, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Though. Imagine that for a year though. Box office. That would absolutely be box office. That you would not be able to get a ticket. The tickets would be ridiculous. It would be absolute box office. Make it happen.
There you go.
I know they watch.
Never
been a sub for ages.
Never misses a show.
Since last summer when he was like, I need to find out. And he started watching us.
Doesn't
understand anything we're saying.
No, but he's there. We might do forward roll.
That would be interesting.
No,
I said it. Yeah. We'll
it's going to be that interesting.
Can't see him slogging it in Europa, can you?
No. Sporting, then the Champions League,
Yeah.
aren't they? So go. If you can't, maybe they'll just all go. Go on, you can go to sport.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what else develops. Make sure you get over to BetVictor's YouTube channel, watch the full Last Fan Standing video, leave your comments, leave a like and a share. Give us a like and subscribe if you haven't. We'll see you later.